Alright. Hey everybody, I just wanted to make a video on the subject of cognitive dissonance. So cognitive dissonance is basically the idea that when you have two conflicting ideas, your mind kind of just tries to pick one and stick with it. An example of that would be, like, let's say you don't believe in ghosts, but you're watching a scary movie and it happens to be about ghosts or whatever, and the movies always try to hide the fact that there's a ghost or whatever. So like in your mind you're saying, you know what, ghosts don't exist, I'm not scared, it's just a movie, whatever. But kind of like while you're watching the movie, it's like, is this ghost real? Is there a ghost in the room while I'm watching the movie? But your mind is kind of like, no, ghosts don't exist, I'm not afraid of ghosts, etc. So basically it's just the idea that your mind kind of tries to alleviate like anxiety or like fear or anything like that by pretty much making a decision like, okay, I know this thing is a fact, so I'm gonna stick with that. That's what I believe, even though I have like this other information that is going against my belief. That's like a classic example of cognitive dissonance. So I kind of want to talk about cognitive dissonance in terms of like decision making, and specifically in the context of like motivating yourself to do something. Now, a lot of people kind of like they motivate themselves by like being positive or something. Like they just think of something that inspires them, like, oh, I'm gonna work out because it's gonna make me a stronger person or something like that. So the thing is that not everyone has the ability to do that. Like some people get kind of stuck in a mindset like, oh yeah, you know what, I'm lazy, I'm not gonna work out. So they end up not working out, or not just working out, whatever kind of thing that they want to do. So I've made a list of things and some visual aids. Hopefully this will help explain my point. So here we have an image that kind of just it's like a diagram of what cognitive dissonance is. You have these two ideas, this one and this one, or cognitions, ideas, whatever you want to call them, and you are here in the middle trying to decide which one of these ideas is right, which one of these do I want to believe in. So what that does is that it creates a dissonance. Dissonance is kind of like it's the opposite of harmony. Like it's unharmonious, like, things are clashing right now. So the problem with that is when you're in this dissonant state, that tends to cause a lot of anxiety, fear, makes you scared, makes you doubt yourself, makes you do all sorts of crazy things like that. And your mind just really hates being in that state. So it tries on its own, it tries to kind of just get out of that state, either by deciding on one of those two cognitions, or it could try to, like, let's say, not even think about it, like just not make a decision, not decide on one of the ideas. So what I wanted to talk about is specifically is the idea of I want to do something versus I just want to relax. So if you think about it, it could be something like when you want to work out. You want to work out so you could feel good, you could get stronger, you could look good, etc. But that takes up work, and you don't really want to do work. You just want to like be happy and do nothing and save energy and all that stuff. So your mind kind of just comes up with all these like reasons for you not to want to work out or whatever. So here's a small list that I came up with. So I want to do something, but it's too hard. I don't know how to do this. I suck and I can't do this. And I've never done this before. So when something is too hard, your mind just kind of says, you know what, this is taking too much effort. I give up. Like, it doesn't even say, let's try to take it easy or something like that. It's just like, I give up. Another thing you might say is like, I don't know how to do this. So it's like, that's something you would say before you even try. So it's like, I don't know how to do this. So you know what? I'm not going to do this. Something that we kind of another trap that we kind of fall into is like, I suck and I can't do this, which is kind of basically saying, I've tried to do this before and I failed, or like I tried to do other things before and I failed. I'm kind of a failure, I suck at life. So, I'm not going to do this. I'm not even going to try because I know I'm going to fail. And the last one is, I've never done this before. So your mind kind of just has no idea what to expect. And it's just like, you're trying to think of, like outcomes. You're like, depending on like some kind of outcome happening when you have no idea what kind of outcome might happen. On the other side of the spectrum, your mind is also trying to think of reasons why you would want to just relax. So, as the first reason I have here, I don't have to do work. Your mind is lazy, so it's just like, if I just relax, I don't have to do anything. Number two is I can save some energy. And I wrote, for what? Yeah, like I said, your body is just lazy. And, back in the day, I guess, you wanted to save energy because you didn't have food, or, you wanted to rest or whatever. But like nowadays, like, why do you need to save energy? Like, you can just eat more food, or you could sleep, or you could like drink coffee or something like that. So there's really no need to save energy. Third one is, it's much easier. Like, this decision is much easier than that one. Like, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, you don't have to do work, And the fourth one is, I've done this before. I know it is comfortable. So it's kind of like, you kind of already know what to expect. So as opposed to the other one where it might be something you've never done before and you don't know what to expect, because it's like, I don't have any like memory of ever doing this. So if we come back to this picture, so think of it on the right, I just want to relax, and on the left, I want to do something. So all of those reasons as showed before, as you try to convince yourself that you just want to relax, you start going over to the right. And, it doesn't help that when you think of the thing that you want to do, that it's, you start thinking that it's hard, and that you don't want to do this, and, you don't know how to do this. So that also kind of starts bringing you over to the right. So in your mind, you kind of have like this good intention that you want to do something. So it like brings you a little bit to the left side. And while you're going to the left, like, you start thinking of all these things like, it's too hard, it'd be easier if I just relax. I just want to relax. That's what I know. That's easy. That's what I want to do. So like your mind will want to take you to the right side. And like, as soon as you start thinking of all those things, it's just like one more step, another step, until you finally get to the right side of saying like, you know what, I'm just going to relax. So the problem with that is you're filled with like all these bad thoughts. Like, you're confused, you're not thinking clearly, you're like doubtful. When you end up not doing anything, you start feeling guilt, you start feeling ashamed of yourself, you start blaming yourself for not wanting to do something. And then like, it just causes this like cycle of negativity. Like, that's the kind of state that you don't want to be in. You just want to be away from that. So in opposition of this, what you want to be in is a state of, feeling accomplished, feeling like you're like fulfilled, feeling like you did something, this will bring you to like a state of like clarity. Like once you start doing something, you'll just want to keep doing more things, because it's just like now you're focused, now you got one thing out of the way, and like, it feels like it's easier to do something new, just because like, after you did something, it's like, yeah, I feel great. Like I just did something. Like I didn't think I could do that. Now I think I could do anything now, So that's kind of the mentality that's like very positive to have. I personally wish I could do something every day. I wish I could make use of my time and, always get something accomplished, but that doesn't always pan out. So what I was kind of thinking of is just like a way to kind of like alleviate yourself and kind of like help you focus on getting something done. So what I came up with was like a small little list of ways that you can kind of convince yourself to think in the other way, to try to get something done, as opposed to like being lazy. So let's look at that list. So this is when you're thinking to yourself like, oh, I just want to relax. You can say the opposite of yourself. It's like, why wouldn't I want to relax? So first one is like, I will feel like I accomplished nothing. So that's kind of self-explanatory. You'll do nothing, and nothing will be accomplished. Like you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to move forward. Another thing you can tell yourself is that you want to be stimulated. I want to stimulate myself. So instead of just like, watching TV and just like being passive about it, you can like stimulate your mind. You can learn something. You could be creative about something, I'm talking about the context of like exercising or working out, but like, it could really be anything. Like it can be, learning something. It could be drawing, creating something. It could even be something like, I want to go out and like talk to my friend, or I want to call my friend, or I want to, write something, whatever. It could be anything, as long as, you're getting something done. So, the third one on the list is I want to utilize this opportunity to better myself. So why, instead of just like sit around and do nothing, why not take that time to do something? Like you have an opportunity. Like every day is an opportunity. Like why can't you just like do something every day? If you did something small like every day, that would just like add up so much over time. So like, isn't that like, that sounds like such an awesome thing. Like that in itself is inspirational. Like, wow, if I just did something today, I would accomplish so much, just because I have the opportunity to do something. So those were examples against wanting to relax. These are examples of, helping you want to do something. So instead of telling yourself that it's hard, I will challenge myself to do it, even if it's hard. You can break it down step by step to make it seem easier. And that's like a strategy. Like, instead of seeing it as like, oh, this is hard, I don't want to do it, you can say, oh, I think I could do this. This is like a challenge. Like, do I have what it takes to do this? I think so. Like, it's a big step to do this. So you know what? Instead of taking a big step, I'm gonna break it up and like take it into smaller steps. Basically, like, let's say you're trying to climb a wall. You can try to climb a wall, or you could like push like a bookcase up against it, and then like a table up against the bookcase, and like a chair. So then you could like step on the chair, step on the table, step on the bookcase, and then bam, you're over the wall. So that's just like an example of what you can do. Another thing you could tell yourself is, it will be nice to finally figure this out. So like if it's something that's been bothering you for a long time, like you've been trying to learn something, like let's go with the workout example. So like, let's say one day you did a workout and then like, oh, you felt tired and like, oh, I don't want to do a workout anymore. So like, what if you say, hey, you know what? Okay, I didn't even plan out a workout. So like, I'm going to do, 50 pounds on the bench press or something like that. I know that that's probably a low number, but I'm just making stuff up. I'm gonna do 50 pounds on the bench press, and if that works for you, you notice that you feel better, or that you like put on muscle, it'll feel like you figured it out. It's like, oh, finally, it was a bad idea to just do like push-ups. Now I'm doing bench presses, and that's making me feel better. I'm glad I figured that out. So now I have kind of like a strategy for the next time. And the third one for me is, this is something I kind of just like been thinking about a lot, is I figured stuff out and completed things that I didn't know how to do before. And I trust myself enough to be able to do it again. So basically how I feel about that is like, that's essentially having trust in yourself. Like that's what having trust in yourself is about. Like, you can draw upon like things from the past to say, hey, I did this thing well. So I kind of am really good at figuring things out. I'm really good at just doing things on the fly. So I'm going to use that like memory, that memory to kind of just like motivate myself, like saying, man, you know what? I got this. I did this before. I've done this before, man. It's not even, I'm not even saying it has to have been something you did before. It's just like, just the idea of trying something new. I've tried something new before, so let me try this other new thing. And, based on my experience from before, whenever I tried something new, it worked. So why wouldn't it work right now? So yeah, those are just some ideas of how you can kind of frame things differently. I know a lot of people kind of just say like, yeah, just be positive, but that doesn't really make sense to the person that doesn't know how to be positive. So those are some ideas that you can follow. You could try to come up with some of your own. I'm sure you can. You can draw from your past experience. You could kind of just like figure things out on your own. That's pretty much what I did as I was thinking of making this video. So I hope that you found that useful, and get out there and do something. Like, I made this video. That's kind of like my thing of the day. So if you like this video, just please hit like and share it with people, and maybe they can learn something from it too. Thanks for watching.